Luke Thomas at the SAP Center in San Jose, California for the Bellator Dynamite 1 Media Day. Next to the man in charge of this whole operation, Scott Coker. Scott, thank you for your time today. So much to get to about what's going on here, but real quickly I want to pick your brain about what happened to Nick Diaz. I mean, you've had the services up for a very long time. Okay, I personally feel like it's, from a government regulatory standpoint, the greatest injustice I think I've ever seen in mixed martial arts. What is your take on the whole thing?
I mean, I don't know all the details. I just know that, kind of, like 5 years is a long time for any athlete. You might say his career might be over now, right? Or we'll see. I mean, he's still young, but to start at 39, 40 years old, that can be really rough. But on the other hand, the commission has rules and regulations, and you have to abide by certain rules and regulations. And how they apply this ruling, I don't know all the details. So I'd like not to comment too much, but it's tough because I know the commission has a job to do, but 5 years does seem like a really long time.
Is what happened to Diaz enough for you to say, I don't know how much I want to go and do business in Nevada?
No, not at all. I mean, listen, the relationship between the commission and the fighter is one thing, but our relationship with the commission is great, and we have a great relationship with the commissions across the country. So it's not the same. It's they have their job to do, and unfortunately, that's the way it went down. But we're not going to not go to Vegas or Reno or any part of Nevada if we want to go.
All right, so let's talk about what's happening here. How does the homecoming feel now that the wheels are sort of in motion now?
It feels great, man. I mean, honestly, just to drive 10 minutes down the road from my house, literally, and
that's what this is about in the end, isn't it?
I don't want a plane anywhere. No, but it's like I felt like 30 years ago, the HP Pavilion was not here, San Jose State Arena was not here, and I promoted in a small little venue called the San Jose Civic Auditorium. 2,500 people showed up, and we had a great show. It was my first kickboxing show. And to see San Jose grow up and become Silicon Valley over the last 30 years, and to see how much the fans really love martial arts fighting here in the Bay Area, and to come back and to do it here and to do it big. I mean, when I came to Bellator, I said, I want to come back to San Jose, but I don't want to go back right away. I didn't want to make it something that, the first 3-4 months of the show, just take back a small show. I want it to be big, and so now the timing is right. And to see the 4-man tournament, which I think is going to be unbelievable. That could have been a main event on its own. And then have Tito, who could have been a main event on its own, right? And Glory, they could have had their own show. But to put it all together for the fans here and the fans around the country, it's going to be a great feeling. And when I saw the pictures of the apparatuses next to each other and starting to build the production, I'm getting goosebumps, man. It's going to be a great night.
To me, when I look back, you've done many shows here. Right, you did the historic one, the first one with Frank and Kung and Caesar. But to me, this one feels like the truest expression of you. And I don't mean this as an insult, but it feels a bit like a vanity project because it's got such your signature on it in ways that where you're working with Showtime before and I was a good partner, but they have their own vision. Spike, I feel like they kind of just said, you know what? You tell us what you want to do and we'll enable you. Is this the truest expression of Scott Coker?
I mean, I think that expressions changes, right? I mean, but this is something I've always wanted to do. I was talking to Gilbert Melendez, 10 years ago. We're sitting in here going, man, Gilbert, I really want to throw this fight and have a ring and a cage and have the kickboxing and the MMA. And one day I'll do it. And so here we are 10 years later. So, it's the expression of what I wanted to do, today. And Dynamite will continue. I think this is, built into its own brand. I think we'll do it once a year, maybe even twice a year. I think that a lot depend on who's available, when they're available, and I think that it's going to have its own brand.
When you say Dynamite, you mean kickboxing and MMA, or could Dynamite be a number of different crazy things?
Yeah, Dynamite just means that if it's above and beyond and a little bit more spectacular than a normal tent pole, right?
Okay, so there's regular shows, tent poles, and then Dynamites.
Dynamite. That's right. That's to me, those are the 3 levels. And when you can do something really crazy, that's when you call it Dynamite.
Okay. There's a lot of legends in the room. I just have to ask. Frank I already talked to. He's out. All right, he was going to be in, but he's out, right? Sakuraba, is he here because it's a goodwill tour, or do you actually have any interest in using his services beyond the capacity of doing interviews?
You know what? To be honest with you, I haven't even sat down and talked to him, but we haven't approached him about fighting or anything like that. He's really here for a goodwill tour because I felt like, he was such a star in the sport, and he's still like a legend, in Japanese MMA. So to have him here, it was such an honor for him to accept. And I thought him and Hoyce here in the room together, and
that's fun.
Yeah, it's just fun stuff, man. And it's just and really, it's you guys are here, and we're all enjoying it, but tomorrow night, the Fan Fest, when the fans will get to meet him and sign. I mean, to me, that's, we provide an opportunity where the fans can connect with the legends and come down to Dave & Buster's and get their autographs, and it's all free. So it's a great opportunity for the fans to come down and meet their stars.
And then Fedor.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone's been asking me, well, why is he doing Bellator promo stuff if, as the rumors have go, if he's going to be signing with UFC? So tell us what are you? Well, you have said previously, oh, we're not even talking to him. Okay, well, you're talking to him now. He's here.
Yeah. I took him out to dinner last night. We had a good time. We had a few chats, but we didn't talk about fights, and we talked about And this is honest truth.
No, nobody believes that. Nobody believes that.
It is the honest truth because listen, I promoted Fedor for 2 years, right? I had the honor to do it, and there's some challenges in the whole M1 relationship before. To me, I felt like, look, I did that. I'm happy to do it. I had an opportunity to bring him out here for the Bay Area Fan Fest, which, come on, man, he's a legend in the sport, so why wouldn't we bring him? And if he decides to sign somewhere else or do something different or end up fighting somewhere, why does it matter? To me, he's here. He's supporting Bellator. He and I are friends. He gets to go to the Fan Fest. People get to come meet him and sign autographs and take pictures, and that's what his role is here. And so we'll see what happens. He told me he's going to make a decision in the next 3 or 4 weeks to tell the world where he's going to go.
2 quick questions. I appreciate your time. What's next for Kimbo Slice?
I think Kimbo will fight first quarter of next year. Opponent hasn't been determined. Location hasn't been determined, but I'm sure towards November we'll have something to announce.
What did you make of all the talk about the fight being fixed, even by people who are reasonably, they're luminaries in some of the community, and they were still talking about some of the stuff. What did you make?
It's so silly. I mean, come on. It's like, I can't. It was just like, it was irritating, to be honest with you. It's like, we have a perfect, record. Me as a promoter, 30 years, I'm going to go fix a fight. It's total bullshit.
Okay, and then lastly, how many Dynamites per year will there be? That's part 1. Part 2, when is we're days away from the first Dynamite, but I'm just sort of thinking, how many Dynamites per year? When's the next one?
I mean, to me, we'll do it at least once a year. We'll do big, but if we can create something that's crazy, that's big, that's even bigger than this, maybe we'll do a couple a year.
Okay. Scott, best of luck to you on Saturday night, and thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.